The remains of a 2-year-old boy were found just half a mile away from the family home from where he vanished 8 months ago. Émile Soleil, 2, disappeared from a family reunion at his grandparents' house in La Vernet, a small village in the Alpes de Haute-Provence, with around 125 residents on 8 July last year, sparking a huge manhunt involving drones, sniffer dogs and helicopters. Ramblers in the Alps on Saturday discovered bones belonging to the toddler, including his skull, close to the isolated property. Lead prosecutor Remy Avon, who is heading the judicial inquiry into his disappearance, said the possibilities that Emile had been murdered, kidnapped, or got involved in an accident were all being looked at. A statement released by prosecutors in Aix-en-Provence on Sunday said genetic analysis identified the bones as belonging to Emile, but that police were continuing to investigate the scene. The search site is roughly 1 kilometer from the house in Haute-Vernet, where the toddler was last seen with his grandfather, Philippe Vedavini, Le Figaro reports. The mayor of Vernet, François Bolic, told the French newspaper the child's remains were found on a path between the church and chapel of the village. Emile's family lives in Marseille, and he was on holiday at his maternal grandparents' home at the time of his disappearance. Police said at least 10 people were present at the property for a family reunion. The boy was officially in the care of Mr. Vedavini on the day of his disappearance, as his parents took a break. A witness saw Mr. Vedavini, a physiotherapist osteopath, cutting wood outside his house around the time Emile is thought to have wandered off. The family was due to leave for a hiking outing, and Emile's grandparents noticed he was missing when they went to put him in the car. Emile was reportedly seen by 2 people when he left their home, but they lost sight of him. Described as 3 feet tall, with brown eyes and blonde hair, Emile was wearing a yellow t-shirt, white shorts with a green pattern and walking shoes when he disappeared. Police issued an appeal for information about Emile on 9 July and launched an extensive search operation in La Vernet, aided by nearly 500 volunteers. On 13 July, the search was called off, and investigators admitted they had no clue what had happened to Emile. There had been no trace of Emile since the day he vanished, with investigators refusing to rule out any theory for the tragedy, including abduction and murder. On Sunday, the Aix-en-Provence public prosecutor announced the development in a statement. It read, "On March 30, 2024, the National Gendarmerie was informed of the discovery of bones near the hamlet Vernet. The investigators took possession of the bones and immediately transported them to the IRCGN in order to carry out genetic identification analyses, which made it possible to conclude on March 31 that they were the bones of the child Emile Solay. Under the direction of the investigating magistrates, the IRCGN is continuing criminalistic analyses of the bones, and the National Gendarmerie is dedicated to deploying resources to undertake additional research in the geographical area where they were found."